Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7 FM.com. Here is the Z107.7 local news for Tuesday, January 9th, 2024. New details have been released in the hit-and-run death of a 29 Palms man, and the sheriff's office is asking for help from the public in identifying a suspect. On Friday, January 5th, sometime before 8:40 p.m., Christopher Plummer, a 57-year-old resident of 29 Palms, was walking in the 75,000 block of Amboy Road in 29 Palms when he was struck by an unknown vehicle. Deputies responded at approximately 8:40 p.m. when they said they found Plummer laying in the middle of the westbound lane of traffic with significant injuries. San Bernardino County Fire Department administered life-saving measures to Plummer, but he succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced dead at the scene. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department Major Accident Investigation Team responded due to the severity of the collision, and their preliminary investigation indicated Plummer was walking west on Amboy Road when he was struck by an unknown vehicle. The investigators say the involved vehicle fled the scene. This section of Amboy Road has no crosswalks or streetlights, and the roadway is straight with a dirt shoulder. Deputies report that they are continuing the investigation, collecting video surveillance from neighbors and businesses in the area, as well as interviewing witnesses. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department is seeking the community's assistance in identifying the involved driver and requests anyone with information related to this investigation contact Deputy Chris Jones at San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department Morongo Basin Station at 760-366-4175. More than 50 people turned out for last night's meeting of the Landers Community Association. Primarily, they came to hear from the developers of a proposed glamping site. Reporter Mike Lipsitz tells us what happened at last night's meeting.
Calvin and Adriana Clark, developers of the proposed 6-unit Ecodome campground in Landers, addressed a reasonably polite audience last night. The young couple declared their love of the desert and their desire to incorporate community concerns as they refine plans for the off-grid 2.5-acre site. Their sincerity has already been demonstrated by the recent elimination of a planned separate communal dome, swimming pool, bocce court, horseshoes, fire pits, and hot tubs, all of which have been named as potential noise producers. The Clarks also discussed their commitment to dark skies, native plants, wildlife preservation, further noise abatement, water conservation, and their willingness to adapt and compromise. But for many, these gestures appeared unsatisfactory. Landers Association President Justin Marino suggested that the real threat to acceptable development is county policy, not the Clarks. Reporting for Z107.7 News, this is Mike Lipsitz.
The first 29 Palms City Council meeting of 2024 will take place this evening with an agenda that addresses FP5, off-road vehicles, a new appointment to the Public Arts Advisory Committee, and the long-awaited Youth Council. Reporter Heather Clisby has more.
Heading into 2024 with a new mayor, the council will begin tonight's meeting with a presentation by San Bernardino County Fire Chief Daniel Muncy on FP5. The council will then discuss and likely appoint illustrator graphic designer Sarah M. Lyons to the Public Arts Advisory Committee. Lyons is co-owner of the downtown craft beverage and gift shop Scorpion Lollipop and would replace choreographer Ryan Heffington. Next, the council will consider creating a 29 Palms Youth Council, an advisory body of students that would engage with the community and civic leaders on youth-related issues and events. Finally, the council will discuss various regional organizational assignments for its members, such as the Morongo Basin Transit Authority and the Mojave Desert Air Quality Management District. The meeting begins at 6 p.m. at City Hall, 6136 Adobe Road. The event can be live-streamed or viewed on demand via the city's website, 29palms.org. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Heather Clisby.
This morning at 10 a.m., there will be a special meeting of the Yucca Valley Town Council in which the council will discuss extending a moratorium on changing age provisions at mobile home parks. Then, at 6 p.m., the Yucca Valley Planning Commission will meet in regular session to review a permit request for a 5-unit apartment complex. Reporter Hillary Sloan will tell you what else will be covered.
During the department reports, the Yucca Valley Planning Commission will review a request to construct a 5-unit apartment complex on a 0.67-acre site. They will also continue to review a color change application of the commercial structure located at the northeast corner of 29 Palms Highway and Prescott Avenue. The Planning Commission will also receive the land update report. The meeting is at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, January 9th, in the Yucca Room of the Yucca Valley Community Center, 57090 29 Palms Highway, and will be live streamed. The public is welcome. For a link to the Zoom meeting, see this story at Z107.7fm.com. For Z107.7, this is reporter Hillary Sloan.
The Morongo Unified School District Board of Trustees will hold their regular 6 p.m. meeting tonight at Joshua Tree Elementary. Assignment reporter Gabriel Hart has a look at the meeting's agenda for us.
For tonight's agenda, Assistant Superintendent of Instructional Services Amy Woods will be recognizing students from 29 Palms High and Yucca Valley High for the Seal of Biliteracy, an award given to students who have studied and attained proficiency in 2 or more languages by high school graduation. The board is requested to approve an MUSD CSEA Memorandum of Understanding for a new speech-language pathology assistant. Action items include a request to adopt Resolution 2407 proclaiming January 2024 as School Board Recognition Month, and a request to approve the reporting required for a change in salary schedules for MUSD employees for 2023-24 and 2024-25, including contract addendums for the board. Reporting for Z107.7, this is assignment reporter Gabriel Hart.
Tonight's 6 p.m. meeting of the Bighorn Desert View Water Agency is open to the public as always. Reporter Mike Lipsitz rejoins us with what to expect.
A board reorganization with the election of a board president, vice president, and secretary is at the top of tonight's agenda. Committee appointments and a modification of the roster of meetings for which directors may be compensated are also on tonight's agenda. Tonight's meeting takes place at the agency's board meeting office under the old water tower on Cherokee Trail in Landers. Remote participation is also an option. See this story at Z107.7fm.com for a link to a complete agenda and instructions for attending via Zoom or telephone. Reporting for Z107.7 News, this is Mike Lipsitz.
The Mojave National Preserve is requesting public input on 2 major road rehabilitation projects. Joining us with info on the project is online news editor Robert Hayden.
The National Park Service is proposing to rehabilitate Kelso-Sema Road and South Kelbaker Road inside the Mojave National Preserve. Rehabilitation of the roads will include demolition, removal, and replacement of the existing asphalt road surface, including an installation of a new stable road base. In addition, the National Park Service will construct fencing to facilitate safe passage and reduce population decline of the desert tortoise, a federally threatened species. The Park Service will be hosting a virtual meeting on Thursday, January 11th at 3 p.m. They'll be explaining the planning process and give you methods for public comment and allow participants questions. Initial public comments on the project will be accepted from January 11th to February 10th, both handwritten and online. If you'd like more information on how to attend the meeting and what the project entails, you can find a link at this story on our website, Z107.7fm.com, or visit parkplanning.nps.gov. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Robert Hayden.
And finally, last week, the Yucca Valley High School Lady Trojans soccer team was on the road. On Wednesday, they had a match against Desert Mirage High School, where the junior varsity added another win to their record with a 2-0 shutout, thanks to keeper and sophomore Emily Cooper, with both goals coming from freshman Eva Mush. The varsity team took on their opponents and ultimately suffered a last-minute loss 2-1, with 1 goal from junior Mackenzie Poe. On Friday, they traveled to Cathedral City, where they suffered a 3-2 overtime loss after being up 2-0. The Lady Trojans' goals came from junior Willow Jones, who was just returning to play from a serious injury, and sophomore Sofia Gonzalez. This week, they will be on the road again. Tomorrow, they will take on Desert Hot Springs, and Friday kicks off the second half of the season with game number 2 against Indio. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear news happening, let us know about it. Email us at tips@z1077fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm Jeff Harmatz.